On the dais. Professor Devansis Sudeka, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University. Professor Nimachandran Chaudhary, Professor Department Tourism and Hospitality Management, Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi. Professor Vivraj Bhushan Parida, Director, Swami Vivekananda Advanced Research Center, the University of Buddwan, West Bengal. Professor Y. Venkata Rao, Department of Tourism Studies, Pondicherry University, Pondicherry. Professor Bharatendra Singh, Patron and Dean, School of Economics, Management and Information Science, Mizoram University. Professor Himanshu Bhushan, Convener and Head of Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Mizoram University. It is now time for us to honor the prestigious guests who have delighted us with their presence today through this felicitation ceremony. I request Professor Himanshu Bhushan, Convener and Head of DTHM, to kindly come forward and felicitate Professor Debakar Chandra Deka, Honorable Chancellor, Mizoram University. Now, I would like to request Professor Debakar Chandra Deka, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, sir, to please felicitate Professor Nimit Ranjan Chaudhary, Department Tourism and Hospitality Management, Jamia Millia Islamia, University, New Delhi. And Professor Bibraj Bhushan Farida, Director, Swami Vivekananda, Advanced Research Center, the University of Budwan, West Bengal. And now Professor Y. Venkata Rao, Department of Tourism Studies, Pondicherry University, Pondicherry. Thank you, Professor Deka. Now I request Professor Himanshu Bhushan to kindly come forward and felicitate Professor Bharathendu Singh, Patron and Dean, Semis, Mizoram University. I request Professor Bharathendu Singh, Patron and Dean, Semis, to kindly felicitate Himanshu Bhushan Roth, sir. Professor Singh, now I request you to kindly felicitate Professor Monica Prakash, Nodal Officer, IITTM Nellore. Professor Saurabh Dixit from Department of Tourism and Hotel Management, Nehru, Shillong, Meghalaya. And Dr. Sanjeev Saxena, Associate Professor, Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Assam University, Silchar, Assam.
So can you please hold? I will borrow this time.
Thank you, Professor Singh. Now, I would like to invite Professor Himanshu Bhushan, Convener and Head of DTHM, to deliver welcome address and to present the conference report. So,
very good evening to all. On behalf of Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Mizoram University, I warmly welcome our chief guest, Honorable Professor Divakar Chandra Deka, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, and it's our pleasure to have our Honorable Vice Chancellor in the first international conference organized by this department. And it's our pleasure and honor, sir, with your presence here. Thank you so much. Also, I would like to invite, welcome Professor Nimit Ranjan Chaudhary, Professor Vikraj Bhushan Parida, Professor Y.G. Rao, all reputed, eminent professors from tourism department from different premier universities. Also, I would like to welcome Professor Bhartendra Singh, Dean Semis, to cooperate and support in each and every step for my department. Thank you so much, sir. And Professor Himanshu Bhasan Rao, heading the Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management. The Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Mizoram University, organized a two-day international conference on redefining tourism through G20’S key priority areas on May 18th and 19th, 2023 in blended mode or hybrid mode. The specific themes of this evening were the following: digitalization, under digitalization, augmented reality, social media marketing, artificial intelligence, smart space, on the space, food and beverage management, hotel operation, travel agency and tour operation, customer relationship management, under tourism MSMEs, human resource management, upskilling and reskilling in tourism, self-help groups in tourism and hospitality, vocal for local, opportunities and challenges in MSME. Under destination management, we have covered destination marketing, MICE, event management, medical tourism, crisis management. And under green tourism, sustainable tourism, wildlife tourism, eco-tourism, wellness tourism, and rural tourism. These are the key priority areas which we have covered during our conference. Although the themes were not existing, the research papers from different states and union territories of India, as well as from our neighboring nations, were received. The presenters comprised mainly faculty members and research scholars with tourism and hospitality and business management background. There were altogether 90 papers submitted, out of which 60 in online mode and the rest 30 in offline mode. Distinguished academicians with national prominence representing the different prestigious institutions from within India and outside India congregated at the event. The event comprised 6 technical sessions and 2 plenary sessions. On day 1 of the conference, 5 technical sessions, 4 online and 1 offline, ran parallelly. Technical sessions were followed by plenary session. On day 2, only 1 technical session in offline mode were conducted, which was immediately followed by plenary session. In technical sessions, we explored topics on the various conference themes. On day 1, online technical session 1, session chair was Professor Mohammad Mukhlesur Rehman, Director, Bangladesh Institute of Tourism Studies, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Session co-chair was Dr. Lalin Liana Rantil, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Mizoram University. This session comprised 16 research papers, of which 15 papers were presented. The scholars highlighted the various aspects of tourism, such as potential of nature-based, health and community-based tourism, supply side bottlenecks of tourism participation, role of pilgrimage in social and cultural integration, effects of natural disasters on the long-term sustainability of tourism, rural tourism, experience of tourists for the sustainable rural tourism development, wellness tourism and other under the key priority areas. The diverse nature of the topic signifies the scope that tourism industry can offer. Online session, technical session 2, session chair was Dr. Sanjeev Saxena, Associate Professor from DTHM in Assam University. Session co-chair was Dr. Bapuji, Assistant Professor, Department of Public Administration, Mizoram University. In this session, total 13 presenters presented their research papers. These presentations cover topics on ecotourism, sustainable tourism, agri-tourism, beach tourism, tourist consumption pattern, and AI on artificial intelligence on brand loyalty. Presenters put forwarded their study areas on different parts of India from Sikkim and Delhi to Odisha and Hyderabad. The papers were based on primary data as well as secondary data. The research persons provided suggestions to the presenters according to their research papers. Online technical session 3, session chair was Professor Saurabh Kumar Dikit, Professor, Department of Tourism and Hotel Management, Dehu. Session co-chair was Dr. Caroline from Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Mizoram University. In this session, total number of papers were 15, out of which 9 were presented. Dimensions of the areas covered under this session were opportunities and challenges in MSME, sustainable pilgrimage tourism development, ecotourism, wellness tourism, vocal for local, social media marketing, role of women in tourism business, human resource management, gastronomy, new prospects for the small scale farmer of Champai district, Mizoram, were discussed. Online technical session 4, session chair was Ms. Najlin Sultana, Executive Director, International Research and Development Council, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Session co-chair was Dr. T. Sadasivam, Associate Professor, Department of Public Administration, Mizoram University. In this technical session, out of 13 papers, 9 presenters presented their papers and contributed their ideas and views in different areas of tourism and hospitality. And the session includes different aspects like ecotourism, green tourism, sustainable tourism, food tourism, and skilling in tourism and hospitality. The presenters are joined from different corners of the country like Odisha, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, and northeastern states of India. The session discussed on different topics and it includes the role and impact of food culinary tourism in the development and hospitality sector in India, work-life balance of employees in tourism and hospitality sectors, food safety skilling in tourism and hospitality, eco-friendly practices, green tourism and adventure tourism in different states of India. Online technical session 1, session chair was Professor Monica Prakash, IITTM Nellore. Session co-chair was Dr. Lal Rupui, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Mizoram University. In this session, a total of 12 presenters presented their research papers. These presentations covered topics on green tourism, the Indian stock market, sustainability, ecotourism, work-life balance, and virtual tourism. The papers were based on primary data as well as secondary data. The resource persons provided suggestions to the presenters according to their research papers. Plenary session day 1. The plenary session of day 1 of the conference was chaired by Professor S.P. Gupta, Director at Center for Mountain Tourism and Hospitality Studies, HNP Gorwal University. The eminent speakers for the session were Professor Nimit Ranjan Chaudhary from Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Professor Srinivas Patil from Department of Public Administration, Mizoram University. Professor Vibraj Bhushan Parida from Department of Tourism Management, the University of Bardhaman. Professor N.V.R. Jyoti Kumar from Department of Commerce, Mizoram University, and Professor Y. Venkat Rao from Department of Tourism Studies, Pondicherry University. Through insightful discussion, panelists have underlined and deliberated seriously on rurality, wellness, empowering practitioners, overcoming barriers to tourism, and green tourism. The speakers emphasized the contribution of tourism to the world economy by elaborating on various case studies of India. The takeaways from the session will provide a platform for knowledge, collaboration, and formulation of strategies that will redefine tourism in a responsible and impactful manner. Day 2, offline technical session 1, session chair was Professor Y. Venkat Rao, Professor, Department of Tourism Studies, Pondicherry University. Session co-chair was Dr. Bidu Kantidas, Associate Professor, Department of Management, Mizoram University. The session saw discussions on diverse topics of tourism and hospitality, including rural tourism based on Charipara village, Bangladesh, regional organizations, and tourism based on Indian Ocean region. The different topics based on ecotourism, socio-economic aspect, agri-tourism, green tourism, media and film industry, hospitality industry based on accommodation departments and job satisfaction, social media and tourism route. All the presenters
presented the diverse topics based on the theme of this international conference. Plenary session of day 2. The plenary session of day 2 of the conference was chaired by Professor Vibhuti Bhushan Pradha, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shiksha Anusandhan University, Odisha. The eminent speakers for the session were Professor Siddhikanta Mishra, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shiksha Anusandhan University, Odisha, and former Director, IITTM, Government of India. Professor Monica Prakash, Professor, Business Studies, Nodal Officer, IITTM, Nellore. Professor R.K. Mahandi, Professor and Head, Department of Sociology, Mizoram University. Professor V.P. Sati, Professor, Department of Geography and Resource Management, Mizoram University. Professor Saurabh Kumar Dikhi, Professor, Department of Tourism, Hotel Management, NEU. Dr. Sanjeev Saxena, Associate Professor, Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Assam University, Silchar. Panelists spoke on length about themes ranging from the need of future crisis management mechanism, challenges and prospects of tourism development in Mizoram, cultural exchange and intercultural adoptions, ecotourism development in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, destination management organizations, sustainable and green practices by hotel industries. The session was provided insights into the various critical areas, tourism and hospitality sector, and also helped lead to strategies that will redefine tourism in a responsible and impactful manner. During the presentations, speakers and paper presenters penetrated into different emerging tourism and hospitality areas of research interest, which may be taken into consideration while organizing faculty development program, workshops, seminars in future. There are different facts to each of the challenges involved in ensuring better prospects for tourism in today's world: community-based tourism, wellness tourism, nature-based tourism, and all other sustainable forms of tourism, also underlined by speakers and many presenters, could potentially lead to newer avenues of opportunities and scope. At the new time, we need to be alert of the uncertainty of change, which may have serious vulnerabilities and unpredictable consequences. We also need to be responsible in our behavior towards environment. If really we are serious and committed to achieving sustainable development goals by 2030, without doubt, the last 2 days have largely shaped the conversations. However, a conversation is just an exchange of words, and what we actually need is efforts and actions, our collective efforts and actions. The environmental deteriorations, health crisis, climate crisis, materialistic lifestyle, etc. are already putting our life at risk. Now it is totally up to us to show courage, to show intent, to show responsibility and accountability that we have discussed in the past 2 days truly matters and goes beyond words. Thank you also.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the outcomes and key findings of the conference with the esteemed audience. Now I would like to invite our guest speaker, Professor Nimit Ranjan Chaudhary, from the Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Sir has over 20 years of experience in teaching in national as well as international universities. In addition to more than 10 books, over 200 academic papers, sir has a long list of accomplishments. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Rumi. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dekar, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, friends and colleagues, a very good afternoon to all of you. Let me steal around 45 seconds to place on record or convey my compliments to the organizing team led by Himanshu for organizing this very beautiful conference and taking very good care of all of us. And as some of you know that I am a I'm very active on social media. So today my Facebook post read that it was a sublime, innocence was the theme of this conference. So that is what we all enjoyed very much. I'll pick up from where I stopped yesterday during the first plenary session, and I was trying to introduce the concept of doing nothing as a tourism product. The speaker after me, next to me, was Professor Padi, and he said that he perhaps, interpreted it differently, and I was a bit, uncomfortable that my message didn't reach to the audiences. So when I came down, I took feedback, and I realized that perhaps it was my fault that I could not convey the message that I wanted to. But then sometimes in your life, you get a second chance. And so here is my second chance to come back to you and try to share with you my thoughts on what I actually wanted to say. When I refer to as to Haigi or Guga as we call it in Danish, translated as the simple art of doing nothing, I was only referring to something from the demand side. When I say this, I simply mean that doing nothing, sitting back, relaxing is also, increasingly being demanded by the customers, by the tourists who visit places, especially a place like Mizoram. So being in this cozy environment, relaxing, away from our gadgets, away from the fast-paced lives that we are used to is by itself a tourism product. And probably we don't actually need many other tourism activities, which do not mean that we do not have to do anything about tourism products. I was also referring to what I think Professor Bhartindu referred to during his address yesterday. He brought about the inherent contradiction that if you promote tourism, you need infrastructure, but if you have a lot of infrastructure, then the serenity, peace, the very idea of a place like Mizoram is lost. So it was in that context that I was referring to, doing nothing as a tourism product. Professor Padi in his address, when he referred to this, he was actually referring it from a supply side. So here is my take on this, and here is what I wanted to explain, that for doing nothing as a tourism product, you probably have to do almost everything under the sun to create, sustain, and convey and deliver this product. So I'm not saying that you don't have to do anything about tourism. And in fact, what I'm saying is that we need to do a lot of things. We need to be very professional, very meticulous in designing our tourism products and delivering to it. Professor Parida, in his address, came to my rescue and he brought up this issue of experiential tourism. And under the guidance of Professor Mishra, when we started, training tourist guides all over the country, the first thing that we would share with them was that tourism is not about seeing and viewing places. So there's a paradigm shift in the class from classical tourism to the contemporary tourism. Today, tourism is very experiential. Tourism is about immersing into the experience of a place, immersing into what a place is all about, right? And that is precisely, and that I don't say precisely, but that is perhaps the reason why Government of India, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India now refers to their guides as facilitator and not tourist guides, because the job of tourism professionals is to facilitate this immersion into the experience that a visitor comes seeking. So what is this experience that a visitor comes seeking? And just for a quick reference, of all of you, I'm drawing some ideas from a very famous work by Pine and Gilmore, a very best-selling book called Service Economy, where they create this hierarchy of products. So they say most businesses, say in 18th century, 19th century, were about commodities. But when one seller wanted to distinguish his or her offer from that of the competitor. They started branding it, they started building in some differentiator, and that is where commodities became goods. When we started, or when the industry started competing on goods, we started adding value-added services, largely intangible services, so that we can distinguish, we can create more value for our customers, and that is where commodities became goods, goods became services, and now we are talking about experiences. But again, we must also understand that all this discussion about commodities, goods, services, and experiences from the supply side. The realization, this is what I was referring to the other day, that the realization today is that today the consumer has gotten more mindful, more conscious, and perhaps his focus of attention is that what do I get from a good or services or a service, including a tourism service? What happens to me? So in their work, Gilmore and Pine say commodities, goods, services, experience, and then they put a question mark. In the last chapter, they don't discuss it, but the term that they use to replace this question mark is transformation. If you look at UNWTO reports for last 3 consecutive years, the trends in tourism, one of the most significant trend is seeking transformations or transformational tourism. The whole idea is what happens that now the consumer believes, or even if he's buying a motorcycle or a car, or is consuming tourism, the question is, what happens to me? What happens to me when I use this good, this service, or when I immerse myself into this experience? What becomes of me? And what becomes of an individual when he travels to a particular destination is precisely the center point of strategy, should be the center point of strategy of any destination, that when a visitor comes to my place, when a visitor comes to Mizoram, for example, and of course, when we're talking about international conference with the G20 context, I personally believe that we do not serve the purpose until unless we speak something or we discuss Mizoram in the light of all the tourism discussion that we had during the last 2 days. So when we talk about tourism, when we talk about Mizoram, we need to be very clear that how should tourism in Mizoram strategize itself so that they achieve what they intend to. And intends to do, Mizoram tourism intends, or it should intend to create experience for their visitors which is differentiable, distinct from that of any other destination. That is where, Mizoram will have a sustainable competitive advantage. We are competitors that we can sustain. So this is what they should aspire for. Again, some of my predecessors, the people who learned man who spoke at in this conference, say for example, Professor in the previous plenary session, he was trying to connect tourism with culture. Mishra sir pitched in for vocal for local, which without doubt is a very key theme, is a theme that most people pursue. But sir, I look at it from a slightly different perspective. The idea of vocal for local was that we should organize our tourism, create a tourism ecosystem where locals get benefited, where local products, local artisans, local service providers get benefited. But when I look at it from the point where I'm coming, I say that being local or the local elements at a place is the part and parcel of the personality of the place, which differentiate it from other destinations. So you can create all kinds of hotels, all kinds of services better than what you have here in Mizoram or in Delhi or whatever place. But Aizawl is Aizawl, Imphal is Imphal, Goa is Goa, Jaipur is Jaipur, and even cities which are closer to each other, say for example, Jaipur and Delhi. So Jaipur is a different field, Delhi is a different field. And people actually travel to 2 different places to immerse themselves into this field. So to defend your competitive position, you should actually defend your identity. And the identity is defended through bringing in elements of culture, heritage, tradition, in all their variants into the product itself. One of the elements that I, you know, uh, spoke about it, that I wanted to pitch in yesterday was the natural serenity, calmness, peace of this place. And that is where I said that, look, there is a distinct product which people are seeking. People are already busy, rushing in their routines in Delhi and other metros. They want some peace out of their busy schedules, and that is why they're rushing to some, outdoors or some remoter places or to a distant place, which is very different from their routine places. Mizoram, Aizawl is one such opportunity, and they should cash in it. I do not want to be rushing around Aizawl in my car, going to a pub or a nightclub. I don't want to do all these things. I don't also want to have a rush probably during my short stay. What I want is a relaxing, slow-paced, spending of my time at a particular place, sitting in my balcony, looking at the view, gazing at the view, say for 2 hours, sipping tea, sipping coffee or whatever, indulging myself in some local food, talking to a local person, referred to as, tangibilization of this experience through food, through dresses, through other things. So which is all part of my doing nothing experience. So I don't want to indulge into something very active. I want to indulge in something which is, slow-paced, relaxing for me. So that is the product. Definitely there will be multiple views, but perhaps this is one idea or one point of view which people here in Mizoram might like to consider. So that is what I wanted to share. And just a last comment about that when we're talking about experiences, when we're talking about services, skilling is going to be very important. Skilling, I'm not talking about the skills for hospitality or skill for tourism, but again, connecting the dots, skill for facilitating cultural immersion. So how does a host here in Mizoram, in Aizawl, Mizoram, receives a guest, helps this person who is here only for 2 days, 3 days, immerse smoothly, gradually into a typical Mizo experience that is going to be the best product as far as I see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Chaudhary. Now, due to some prior commitment, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dibakar Chandra Dekar, sir, has to leave. But, sir, before you leave, I would request you to share some words regarding this conference.
Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be present in this today inaugurating function of this international conference organized by the Tourism and Hospitality Management Department of our university. Respected dignitaries on the dais, delegates from different states of our country, and my colleagues and students from Mizoram University. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management for successfully completing this two-day international conference. The department is very new department in Mizoram University, and in spite of the limited resources, they have been able to come up with the idea to hold the international conference, and they have been able to invite delegates from different parts of the country. My idea about Northeast, I just like to share my little bit idea whatever I have on related to tourism and hospitality. In the last 2 days, we must have deliberated a lot of things because experts are here. They must have talked about that. And I necessarily would expect, I don't know exactly what was some concrete or some documents must be coming up immediately after conference in the form of proceedings or like that. What one noticed popularly called seven systems are lacking in tourism and hospitality compared to other parts of the country. Certainly it is lacking. And once tourism develops, hospitality will immediately related to it and it will be developed. And in the Northeast, we know we have strengths, more strength than weaknesses, but we people in the Northeast are unable to overcome our weaknesses. For example, see all the seven states in the Northeastern region. So beautiful, so virgin, and so much of diversity. If I define India as a unity in diversity, as a nation, Indian nation, we call it unity in diversity because of various cultures, languages, and different communities having their own indigenous food and cultures practices. We call India one country because of unity in diversity. In that context, if I define, I would say that Northeast itself is a mini India. You can see Northeast in the seven states as much diversity as all over India. You see, each seven states has their own cultural heritage, has their own food habits, has their own terrains, locality. Assam, when Assam is completely valley, but Mizoram, Nagaland, Meghalaya, they are full of hills. Not only hills, beautiful hills, green hills and virgin hills. But still, in spite of all these potentialities, we are very little known in the so-called mainland of India. We are very little known. You can talk about people in Delhi University, go to JNU or go to other well-known universities and pick up some students. What is the capital of Mizoram? I think very few people will be able to answer that. The other day I talked to one professor here. She happens to be from Mizoram, and she told the same story to me. That's what I'm talking about from my own experience. But she talked to me that once she had the encounter and she said that something like that, something in Mizoram which was located in Manipur. People do not distinguish between where is Manipur, where is Mizoram, where is Meghalaya. Sometimes if I ask, what is the capital of Assam, people will say Shillong. Okay. They don't know that Meghalaya is the super state of Assam, like that. Now, a lot of things are, people now, a lot of things knows about Assam, but still, I think that Kolima is the capital of Meghalaya. I think even 0.1% of them in the mainland, Delhi or Mumbai or Chennai, hardly they will be able to tell. And once happened to be, even myself from Assam, I have come at Delhi. Some, of course, they are small, means they are not very high efficient or like that. Maybe some restaurant attendant, or if I go for a meal or a cup of coffee, or go for a soft drink, like that. They have some curiosity. They say, "Where you are?" I said, "You guessed right. You are okay." So probably they have some similarity with me with an Nepalese or like that. But that is not a big issue. But hardly people will say that you are from Assam. That Assam name itself does not come to the mind. That is a problem, I think. And similarly happened. Now I don't blame anybody else. I don't blame it. We have to blame ourselves. We have not developed. We have so much of potentiality in tourism, but we have not allowed others to know. Why others should come here and explore? Why Japanese should come here and explore that Mizoram is a beautiful place? Mizo people have to tell others, we have such a beautiful place, please come. Or we have to advertise. So, I'll make it short because I have another meeting. So, I think there are good coordination is required between higher educational institution and the government. Both together has to do this job. I don't blame anybody else. And common people cannot do much. We have to have a very good correlation, understanding between higher educational institution and the government administration. Administration must come forward and higher education institution must give idea what to do about. Now you see in the whole North there are several universities. How many universities have tourism and hospitality management department? Guwahati University, I've been a student there, I've been working there, still there is no tourism department. The oldest university in the Northeast. Okay, so how many? Mizoram University Tourism and Management has done very recently. It is National Department, this department. So like that, maybe here and there it started. But neither the higher education institution demanded to the government to start the department, nor government is busy with their own job. Election, every month there is election, public distribution, so many things. Of course, they have the responsibility, but I blame myself. As a head of the higher education department, I blame all VCs or all college principals. They have to come out. Simply taking classes, giving lessons to students is not good enough. How to make the, how to help the society, how to help the state. If I am here as a vice chancellor of Mizoram University, my job is not to pass the time only. That's 5 years contract. And first time, please ability yourself. And then leave it. It's not like that. I have to think about how this university can be best used for the benefit of the first priority societies and then the whole not extend the other. How to outreach the society, how to create job for the society. So if the tourism department is tourism sector is developed, we give ideas to government. Government has the tourism department. Government will give that data infrastructure. People will come to visit Northeast, and at one point of time, central government was trying that all central government officers should visit Northeast, LTC, under LTC. That kind of policies was also there. So, but we have to come up also, our local people, we have to, our hospital is well known. We have no less than in every state of Northeast has done good local hospitality. But very few people know it. We have to advertise. Marketing is important nowadays. So this is the new direction we have to give, how to marketing to be done. Unless you do marketing, we are very tourism marketing, we cannot go forward nowadays. It is a market dominated modern technology. Market dominated. So market dominated means we have to know how to marketing. So anyway, I hope the tourism and hospitality department in Mizoram University will take a lead, and I'll be happy to discuss with them what best can be done. At least in the next 5 years, how tourism sector, at least 1% event can be improved in Mizoram, particularly Aizawl. So it's a beautiful place. Okay. So with these few words, I thank again to the Department of Tourism and Hospital Management for taking this initiative, and I acknowledge the presence and express my gratefulness to all of the our delegates and guests who have been esteemed guests for coming on the way to Mizoram University. And also, please do us a favor after going back that it is a good place to visit. Even if you can influence, I can see at least 20% here, starting from Assam University, Jamia Millia, or so if you can at least during informal talking, if you say invest 10%. Yes, I visited Mizoram, I also join us in that. Of course, our tourism will be, they will be helping our tourism department. So thank you very much. I think the spirit will keep it up, but Department of Tourism and Investment. And thank you all. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Because I have another department to visit. Please don't mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and support. We proceed with the event. Now, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Professor Bibras Hussain Farida, the director at Swami Vivekananda Advanced Research Center, the University of Woodburn, West Bengal. He is a dual postgraduate in economics and management and has obtained doctorate in management.
Thank you, Bhumi.
Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University in absentia. Guest of honor, Professor Nimit Chaudhary, Dean Faculty of School of Tourism Management, Information Science, Professor Singh, Professor Venkat Rao, Pondicherry University, Professor Himanshu Bhushan Raut, the convener of this international conference, my esteemed teacher, Professor Misra, other dignitaries, Professor Jyoti Kumar, former dean, Professor Pradhan, Professor S.K. Gupta, Professor Saurabh Dikrit, Professor Monica Prakash, and research scholars, friends. We are in the last session of the international conference. If I go back to the inaugural session, my esteemed teacher, Professor Misra, and the leader of the school, Professor Singh, said the tone for this international conference, highlighting the critical issues governing the redefining tourism through G20's key priorities areas. And while Professor Singh was speaking, he spoke a lot about the tourism and its future as regards to Mizoram is concerned. I will go back to my previous speaker, Professor Chaudhary. He narrated the difference between doing nothing while doing everything. Essence, if I understand correctly, that he was talking about the redefining of tourism so that we can achieve the success of tourism through goodness of tourism. When I'm talking about goodness of tourism, obviously we are talking about the goodness of a destination, be it any form or any kind. And when I'm talking about the success of a destination, we are again concerned about the competitiveness,
the attractiveness of that destination, and how that destination is successful in attracting the tourists and again retaining or again re-inviting or recalling those tourists again and again. If you look at the tourism process of success of tourism as regards to Mizoram is concerned, Professor Singh told a lot of things, when Professor Jyoti Kumar also spoke about it. We take a lot of pride as regards to the tourism potentials and we emphasize on nature. There are many reasons why tourists visit a destination, and we all understand that a significant motivation to travel to a destination, to visit a destination, is to explore the nature that is magnificent, to explore the extraordinary diversity of the life form, to understand the uniqueness of indigenous culture who have protected or maybe worked as a custodian of the natures of the living. Most of the tourism, if you look at, the sector relies on nature. And if we look at Mizoram, it has rich cultural assets. We are developing, but we are yet to understand the full potentials of this particular destination. We need to understand the nature and characteristics of this destination. Like Professor Chaudhary was talking about travel experience and transforming the experience. We need to understand that when we are developing, it's not only the infrastructure which we need to develop or the support services which we need to develop or maybe the facilities which we are proposing to develop, but at the same time we must understand the consumption behavior or consumption pattern of the tourist or the behavioral intention of the tourist whom we are intending to invite or intending to expect, we are intending or expecting that they will come visit this particular destination. So in order to make a destination successful or maybe to make this tourism of Mizoram or Mizoram tourism successful, we need to understand what is the accessibility. We have a lot of things talked about the accessibility, whether the resources we are having, mostly the natural resources we are having, how these resources are accessible, and up to whom these resources are accessible, and how these resources can be made sustainable, retaining the essence of the resources, getting the economic or making the economic and social, or looking at its economic and social development part, or economic and cultural development part, how we can preserve and protect, looking at the sustainable part. How we can promote the digitalization, developing a business process so that the tools, the skills can be used, digitalization tools or digitalization skills can be used to promote. And finally, how we can preserve, protect, and promote the rich cultural heritage of this particular destination. And more essentially, how we can convert a traveler to a tourist, and again to a responsible tourist. How we can convert, I am going to provide the services to, we are going to provide the services, cohesiveness, belongingness, bring it among the community members, and finally delivering the big surprise, big experience, unique experience while looking at the small and critical elements of experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Parida. Now I would like to invite our next guest speaker, Professor Y. Venkata Rao, on stage, please, sir.
So, respected dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Beka in absentia, and today's evening valedictory function chief guest, our beloved Nimit sir, and Dean sir, Maritaji, and the entire whole event front runner and lead person, Himanshu ji. And with us, the Bhumika also is there yesterday morning and the closing ceremony. After the dais, we have our senior most professors. We have scholars, our senior most students, and invited guests. We have scholars, our first of all senior most students, and very much kind and invited organizers. We have scholars this opportunity because first of all it is not most students and very much kind and invited organizers. We have however scholars this opportunity because first of all it is not most. When I look back again, the theme of this conference, G20 key priority areas. The 5 priority areas. Again, I'm just going back the technical word, terminology used, redefine. At this junction, the 5 priority areas, redefining them. In which context we are deliberating in this international conference, and what is my take home after listening to all great speakers, and even in the technical session when I sat, faculty and scholars, they came out with wonderful topics, very varied topics. As a whole, it's a very productive event. When I came here yesterday, my bag was almost all empty, but I feel now I'm just carrying my bag full of information on this particular theme. Since I'm here on this valediction, as a concluding remarks from my point of view, I would like to look at the whole redefining this 5 key priority areas in the context of G20's. It's all about image building. It's all about impression management. We have visited some of the countries in Europe and other parts. Even though their resources are not up to that extent, but they could promote their resources very well and they sell in the market very effectively. I'm just referring about tourism resources. When you look at India, we all agree our country as a whole as a tourism product.
India as a tourism product. It has 360 degrees attractions and it has relevance. We can attract across the world. Our target by 2047, 1 trillion, it's not going to be any impossible thing. It's going to happen. That is the way we are moving with all these redefining processes. I have one example how image is created and impression is managed, and that is the need of the hour. Whatever the priority area we just take up out of 5. With example, I would like to substantiate this 5. In Chennai, we have one tour operator company called KPAs. The company name is called KPAs. The guy, after completing IIM Bangalore management graduation, he worked with software company for a couple of years. We don't know how he found some kind of opportunity in tourism business. He started company. Then first he visited our department, just because it's very close to Chennai. Just came and then he sat with us, even Professor Anjali Swami was also with us. And we all discussed about his idea. Then we and him, further finalizing his business plan. Then this happened almost like 10 years back. But now, after 10 years, where he started with 2 employees, now he has nearly 200 employees. And the way he's promoting his business, or the way in which he's bringing out his business is totally different. It's completely unconventional. It's not a conventional mode. And using high-end technology, reaching all young clients. His clients are almost all young, right? 20 to 30. And mostly young CEOs and IT professionals. And then largely is targeting celebrities and media-related celebrities, film industry celebrities, because he's offering very finest package. And by using technology, because the one priority area is digitalization. Digitalization, redefining point of view, when you look at only 2 things. One is cost, second is quality. How you are going to bring these 2 by using digitalization. And he's doing that. He did that. Pick your trial. Hari, by name, Hari is CEO. He did that and he's now very successful businessman in Chennai. Right? So these are some best practices we have in different corners. Maybe we can just generalize such examples across. We can redefine our tourism business the way in which we are doing in the context of G20. The second example is we have one company called in Kerala, Blue Yonder. So this company was identified by UNWTO as a model travel company to promote in various countries. So very simple. Blue Yonder, the product company. He's Anand. This gentleman, after completing DSC, he was at home without any job. He's from a small village in Kerala. Very, very small hamlet, I guess. It's not a village, hamlet. So out of interest, he just somehow attracted towards tourism. And then he started looking at his own village and decided to sell his village to foreign clients. And out of interest, he has photography also. He took photos from dried up river. On the bank of the dried river, the coconut trees. Other side of the bank, the typical traditional Kerala paddy fields. then the village, a small tea shop, right? And then very traditionally lead a kind of small ordinary family, their lifestyle, everything. He has taken nice photographs and he went to some kind of travel marts and then he started promoting his village. Now, this is another the successful example we have, and this model identified by WTO as one of the best model to sell village across the globe. And his village receives the foreigners. And then they are showing and explaining how the tender coconut is cut. And the life of tender coconut sellers who are actually on roadside, keeping some kind of bunch of coconut, tender coconuts, and keeping it back of their bicycle, and using some kind of a very sharp edge cutter, and then selling, and they are getting livelihood. So this kind of small the stories. So what he did, another technique is he joined with another gentleman who started a different company called Story Trials. Story Trials company is again a joint venture. They are finding story behind everything. For example, Puri. There is a story behind it. Right? Chapati, there is a story behind it. Idli, there is a story behind it. Right? A street, there is a story behind it. A person, there is a story behind every individual. So, from every individual, from everything, whatever the story that is there, we can learn something, we can identify something that actually has some kind of value for our gaining knowledge or even for our development. Right? So, there are some couple of case studies and then successful stories across. So, let us take these things and identify our potential, because we have a potential, we all agree. But what extent we are really making use of that potential and what kind of redefining that we are doing as an academician in our research, as a practitioners, industry, what extent the industry is really modernized and professionalized. Even today, our industry is not up to that in terms of professionalism. And even our graduates, what extent they have the professional related adequacies and manners. These are the certain things, at least now at this point of time, look at and redefine and rework and let us move forward. With that, I thank very much the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rao, for sharing your insights. Now, Professor, I would like to invite Professor Bharatendra Singh, Patron and Dean, School of Economics, Management and Information Science, Mizoram University.
Thank you for inviting me in this very important program. Yesterday, in inaugural session, I spoke out for long because in that program, I was the opening batsman after welcome. I had too many topics to speak, so I spoke for long. Today, in valedictory program, I am the last batsman before the vote of thanks. And I don't have anything to speak because in last 2 days, when I was going through the proceedings, I saw that almost nothing is left. What could have been discussed in a seminar on Tuesday.
Last batsman has to be. It's a helmet.
Thank you, sir. I hope I will be able to deliver it. So to start with, although this is not vote of thanks, but just before vote of thanks, so informally, I would like to say thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Tika, sir. Although despite his earlier busy schedule, HOD has requested him and he came here on exactly 3. Although we were not ready because of the delayed session. So thank you in absentia to him for accepting our request to be here. And I would like to say thanks to Professor Nimit sir for accepting our invitation. But I'm again little having some reservations, sir. I should say thank you to you or not because we assume that you are part of our university. You joined us in 2007 for a short duration, although, but part of family. So still being a senior member in the family. So I would like to say thanks to you for accepting our request. I would like to say thanks to Professor Parida sir for accepting our request, especially Professor Raut's request. I will not say my request. I will not explain why so, or should I say, sir? Uh, anyway, I should say, because otherwise it looks a little awkward. He's member of our board of high school board member, and our meeting is due on Monday, but he's leaving tomorrow. So he accepted invitation from Professor Raut, not from me. But still, thanks for visiting us and enlightening us with your knowledge. And as he has promised, in next meeting he will certainly come. And I request you, sir, don't come alone. As I requested earlier also. So don't come alone. Thank you, sir, Professor Rao, Venkateswar Rao, sir, for accepting our request to be here. One particular line I want to quote him. He told that when he came with empty bag. And he is going with lots of memories. So thank you, sir. I am very sure that all those memories are good memories only. Because I always feel that we should always carry good memories and lessons from bad memories. Don't carry bad memories. Leave it here. If I am very sure we have not given you any bad things. But even if you have got, take lessons from that, but carry only good memories and visit us again, sir. Thanks to all the other members who are here, who are present here. They have been here for last 2 days. They have listened carefully to each of the speaker here. They spoke, they presented their views also on different topics. So thank you all for being here. I should not say thanks again to Himanshu ji. He is part of organizer. I'm also part of organizer, although I did nothing, almost nothing. But I will not say thanks to him, but I should congratulate you for organizing a very good program. It is, in fact, yeah, you may clap. No harm in clapping. Getting 90 papers for a seminar is not a very easy task. So I must congratulate you. And again, I will repeat the line I told yesterday that people say that Mizoram is a far away place, and I say no, it is the main place. Rest all are far away from Mother Nature. You have shown that it is not at all far. 90 papers presented is a great achievement. So congratulations to you, and not only to you, all of the thank you, thank you. All these claps possible. And your teams, obviously, you are not alone, sir. These are not persons. These are posts which carry whole family. So when I am telling Himanshu ji, it means tourism department for me. Then yesterday I told many things to the guests from outside. Today I will say something to our own people, our students who are sitting here. After this 2 days seminar, what do you learn? Write it down on a piece of paper, not on piece of paper, rather it should be on a book, a copy. Keep it down, whatever you remember out of this. Or I may request Himanshu ji to make it an assignment that they write what they have observed, what they have learned, those points, not detailed point wise. Keep it with you because everyone talked about tourism and you are studying tourism. What else? What you learned in last 2 days, maybe more than what you read in books. Note it down and keep it in your memory. Many things, everything is not just exams. Examination is just a small part of education. Now, sexual education is wide, very, very wide. So keep it always with you. We need to learn, again, I will repeat, we need to learn how we can expand, how we can extend this tourism in our state. We have all the opportunities, we have all the potentials, but we still need to work a lot. We need to make many other things. If you see the picture there, React, that is, yesterday also I noted that React is actually a trekking place. You can go for there and you have to walk nearly 40-50 minutes up to reach that place. In the way, there are two ways. One way, you will see a valley view, a very good valley view, very deep, little risk. Another way is through the jungle. Whatever way you take, you will enjoy that. When you reach the peak, you see that peak, it is all bald. There is not even a single tree. Nothing is there after reaching there. So, if you ask me 3-4 times, you ask me what I remember, the recall of that place, recall the I found like going up with very few or coming down with that general. So that recall, what are the recall points that you have to create, or we can have something established there on the peak itself. 40 minutes of walk, if it is little sunny, you know you must be sweating. When I went 2 times, I was carrying 1 liter bottle in my hand, and my hand was not very comfortable with that bottle. I have to carry it because I knew that nothing is available. If I knew it earlier that there is a shop selling cold drinks or water or some chips or something like that, I have no need to carry anything. I could have gone there immediately enjoying with all my both friends, not all, but both friends, and could have come back. And that could have been recall value for me. So we have to think it is not only to attract tourism, we have to engage tourists also. How to engage is an important thing. And there comes entrepreneurship. You cannot create a destination, but you can create some value addition there, and you can create some recall value for the place. Go to any city, and almost every sea beach you will find there is one person who is having one long big umbrella stuck in the sand, and 4 chairs are kept there, nothing else. No other investment. Umbrella maybe 200 rupees and 4 chair maybe 700-800 rupees. Maximum 1,000 rupees investment. What for? As soon as sun is there, it is very difficult to sit in sun near sand. Now people need some shade and there is no shade. You know there is no shade possible there. You need that umbrella. And no tourist carries umbrella. Now you have to pay 20-30 rupees just to sit there. Because you are there to enjoy that thing only. And you are unable to bear. You will pay 30, 40, 50 rupees for that. That kind of things we can create from, we have to think. And we can create those things very easily. I share one more thing. Long back I went to Rishikesh, and Lakshman Jhula is a very common name. Everyone must be knowing. I don't know whether it is as per tourism side or not. I'm telling as a tourist, not as a academician of tourism, because many galaxy of academicians are here to understand much more than me. But as a tourist, I'm telling, there is a tall building near that Lakshman Jhula. You must be seeing, if you see picture of Lakshman Jhula, that tall building is also there. I thought that after seeing that tall building, that what good view will be there from peak of that building. Think of some 7-8 floor building, just standing near Lakshman Jhula. So, and no tall buildings nearby. And I was thinking about that view. So I got an opportunity. I went there. I saw a lift is there. I took the lift and went to the top floor. Saw the things there. It was really very nice seeing Lakshman Jhula from top. It's a very nice view from there. I took many pictures. Then I started coming down. And first thing I encountered is that lift was used only to go up. It was not allowed to come down with that lift. The lift will anyhow will come down only. But it was not allowed. You have to go by steps. Okay, at that time, I was even younger than today. So I started coming down. First floor, I came down. Then I'm seeing next, that steps are going again down, but no, it is closed. I'm coming from like this. Next turn is here, but no, there is a barrier. I cannot go this side. When I asked a person there, then he told, no, this road is closed, this way is closed. You have to go like this and come this side. Okay, I went. So that is a very long house. It is not only tall, it's a long building house. And circular like this building only, like this circular. So I have to take a long circle of the whole building and come at the same point where I started. Why so? Because all those corridor was full of shops. So while walking, I will purchase something. So they were searching for customer. And seventh floor also same thing. Sixth floor also same thing. And all those floors are like that only. So I took some 8 floors, 8 circles of that building to come down. Nothing. So this is nothing but creation of business, although I didn't like this business model, but I like the business model of that umbrella. So I'm not telling you to go by this way or that way. It's the only thing that people must have thought. If everyone goes like this, taking a lift up and coming down, all of this building will have no business. That was a way to create business. So think how is it possible, how it is possible to create it. And it should be memorable also, it should be positive also. For 2-3 times this word came, memorable, recall value. I share one more example and then I will finish. Being last speaker, I am having that liberty, I think. Okay, so when I was coming here for interview in the year 2004, April, I came by a sumo from Silchar to Aizawl. It usually takes 6.5 hours or something like that. And it was night when I reached here. 9:30 I reached, night. And I was half sleepy sitting on the window side. And all of a sudden I saw many lights. One mountain with houses and all lights on. It was very attractive scene. And for hardly 1 or maybe 5 or 10 seconds, I saw it because sumo was moving. And I left it. Only for 10 seconds, I saw it. Then fine, I got a hotel and stayed there. Next day, I gave my interview. Then next day, I returned back. The memory point, what I carried, the recall value was that scene, lightings were there. And it was an amazing thing. I had never seen this kind of thing. That was my recall value. Then I got appointment here, I came here, I joined here, and I started searching for that place. One thing was there at that time, every shop here also, now also, closes by 5. So very difficult to reach that point after 9, midnight, near night. So that was also a thing. But still I tried to go, but I couldn't find that place from where I can see that thing, what is there in my recall. That picture is there in my mind. Then somehow I was coming from, visited someone, some known person in Ramlur side. And after sunset, I was coming to Chanmari side. On that road, I saw that point. And all those students must be recalling that place, what place I am calling. From Ramlur to Chanmari, just before reaching Chanmari, that place is there, hardly this length. And from this, you can see beyond valley, some houses are there, and obviously lights are there. It is very close, it is not very far. Very close, you see, and it's really amazing. That still I remember, and whenever I go there and if it is little late, I try to come by that route, just to see that, just to relive that thing. Because all guests are staying in guest house, tourist guest house. From tourist guest house, if you go around 2 kilometers towards Puspak, Janabab to Puspak Road, you will find that kind of very good site with lightings. So tonight event riser, if you have not yet seen, Himanshuji will tell which point I am telling, beyond Vishal. So these are the points which remains in our mind. So actually I was addressing to the students that think of this business, start of a business. One of the key priority area of G20 is startups and MSME, tourism MSME. Start some business, but don't start hurriedly. Think of it, do research, then only start. And with this, I think I have taken already time. So I would again like to say thanks to everyone, all the people on dais and all the people here sitting off the dais. Thank you all for coming here, for making this program a grand success, I should say. Congratulations to the organizing team. Thanks to Bhumi for running all the show. So thank you all for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Singh, for motivating us. Now, we will start with certificate distribution program. And top 3 papers were to be awarded. Those top 3 papers will be awarded later, as in when we see all full papers from every single participant, and the presentation marks will be added to it. And then later, the results will be announced and informed to all of you. At the moment, we will start with the certificate distribution. For the certificate distribution, I'll invite Professor Chaudhary to present the certificate along with Professor Himanshu Bhushan Rao to Professor Bharatendra Singh. Professor Shivkanta Mishra. Professor Sanjeev Saxena. Dr. Lalman Yana from Department of Management. Dr. Babu G. Dr. Karen from Department of Management. Ms. Nazreen Sultana. Dr. Bidu Kantidas, Associate Professor, Department of Management. Dr. Lal Rukhori, Assistant Professor, Department of Management.
Subra Patnaik. Ritik Patnaik.
For rest of the candidates, presenters, we will distribute the certificates later from the department. Now, I would like to invite on dais Dr. Milo Yaja, Assistant Professor, DTHM, as the vote of thanks speaker. We kindly request you to express our sincere gratitude to all the participants, speakers, sponsors, volunteers, and dignitaries who have contributed to the success of the event. Dr. Yaja.
A warm good afternoon to all of you. Chivai, Vanakkam, Namaste. Now that we have come to the end of this conference and it is time to conclude, I, Dr. Milo Yaja, take this opportunity to offer formal vote of thanks. Honorable guest of honor, Professor Bibraj Bhushan Parida, Director, Swami Vivekananda Advanced Research Center, the University of Bardwan, West Bengal. Professor Bhartendu Singh, Dean, School of Economics, Management, Information Sciences. And guest speaker, Professor Venkat Rao, Professor, Department of Tourism, Pondicherry University. Professor Nimit Chaudhary, Professor, Department of Tourism, Hospitality Management, Jamia Millia Islamia, University, New Delhi. We are grateful to have you all here today. It's a blessing for us. At the outset, I would like to extend my gratitude to Professor Himanshu Bhushan Rao, Head of the Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Mizoram University, and also the convener of this conference for giving me this opportunity to propose formal vote of thanks on this August gathering of intellectuals, dignitaries, and scholars from all parts of India and also from neighboring countries for this international conference on redefining tourism through G20 key priority areas. We are grateful to all our dignitaries, resource persons for accepting our invitations and gracing the event despite their tight schedules and traveling all the way from various parts of India and abroad. And we are also delighted to have research scholars, academicians from various disciplines that we have come from various STEAM university institutions from India and abroad. We are overwhelmed to receive many quality abstract and research papers on tourism, hospitality, and other elite domain on G20 KPAs, digitalization, skill, tourism understanding, and destination management. We truly hope that your participation in this international conference and association with us, with Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, will surely benefit you all in academic discourse and professional growth. Thank you. Our heartfelt thanks goes to all our session chair and co-chairs for presiding over the technical session and providing valuable inputs to all our presenters. And we are extremely grateful to all our panel members and speak person, those who have taken up time to come here for this international conference. Now it's time to thank our sponsors. We are extremely grateful to all our sponsors for this international conference, particularly Sri Vishen G. Reddy, Honorable Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, Mr. Arvind Singh, IAS, Secretary of Tourism and Director, Madam Manisha Saxena, IAS, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, for providing us financial support. We would also like to thank Department of Tourism, Mizoram government for assistance and collaborations. And we are also grateful to P. Zoram Tangisante, Director of Women and Child Development, Government of Mizoram and Mizoram University for supporting this conference. On behalf of the Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, I thank all the sponsors for their support and believing us. And we are also looking forward for such collaboration and assistance in their future. And on behalf of the department, I wholeheartedly thank once again Professor Divakar Chandradekkar, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, Professor Bharti Murthy, Dean, School of Management, Economics, Information Sciences, for this conference. We also like to take our Professor Kalmundar giving us permission for this conference. University Administration, IT and BSL of the university for covering our event on various social media platforms. Our special thanks goes to Department of Management, Mizoram University, for allowing us to use the space, particularly Professor Elvis Sarma sir and his team. We are extremely grateful to all of you. And our special service partner, our food delight catering partner, Muji Catering Service, and our management team for providing us delicious food and quality food in these 2 days. And March event for decorating our content and beautiful education. And Louis Page for printing our certificates and books of abstract. And it will be unfair if I do not mention the main force of this conference, our dear students and scholars. Your dedication, your hard work, your energy played a significant role in making this conference successful by grade one with your performances. And we are so happy and proud. All of you did your work very well with utmost sincerity. We are really proud of that. And we also believe that you will continue to do so in your professional and personal lives. And we are also blessed to have our HOD, Professor Kushal Ral, who is a caring and good human being and also worked tirelessly for this conference. And we also believe that under your guidance, our department will surely achieve many more accolades in the future. And last but not least, my dear colleagues, Dr. Rajdeep, Dr. Rajesh, Dr. Pankaj, Dr. Sunil, Dr. Lata Sangha, and our officer, Ms. Sandeep and Ms. Juliet, I must say thank you and congratulations to all of you. And it is your dedication, your hard work, and making all the things that we said for your time for this conference. We're extremely grateful. And we're also grateful to all the participants and all the individuals who are directly or indirectly contributed for this conference and making it a big success. With this, I conclude the vote of thanks. I wish you all have a great evening. Jai Hind. Bye. Kalabra means thank you in Mizo. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone. Now we will all stand for national anthem.